Check out this case. You got a squishy face Shiba. See its little tail and just little dumpy. It's so cute. Today's keyboard is the Toro60. It is 60%, but with a twist, as this one has an exploded spacebar. So as you can see, right here, there's like a frame around the spacebar. So it looks like colors. You have Mika, which is an eco white, Hachiko, which is an eco cream, Toro, which is spray coat yellow. Oh god, I'm gonna say this wrong. But basically you have a sandblasted clear PC, you have Ginkgo, which is anodized black, you have Doge, which is anodized silver, Hongbao, which is anodized red, you have Taro, which is an anodized ultraviolet, and Sakura, which is an anodized pink. This will be available in this layout and also Chinese Win keyless or HHKB. What I mean by Chinese Win keyless is if you look here, there's actually blockers here too. So rather than this not having it right here, you do have these two blockers. But yeah, so just looking from the top, you have the Chinese blockers. You have thin side bezels, but then the top and bottom bezels are going to be thicker, right? All throughout the top, you can see there's different widths when it comes to like the bezels. And then you can also see that there are 4 screws right here, meaning there are no visible case screws. They're all going to be done from the top. And then all these corners are actually rounded, so no sharp corners. Here's a side. Whoa. So I particularly like this side because it's a contrast on different shapes. So here you can see you have this wedge right here, which is more sharp lines, but then you have the top piece, which is more curved. So it's a contrast between like curvy and then sharp. The top and the bottom bezels have very big curves, but then the bottom wedge is going to be more sharp. And then my favorite, the back. Oh my goodness. So it is infilled, but you got the little Shiba, and then you got the moons and the stars. Things to point out here, you can see the top piece goes over the bottom piece from the seam right here. So if you look right here, you actually don't see the seam where the keyboard's top and bottom piece meet. But then when you flip on the back, this is where you can see the seam. You do have the big weight right here. And then you have these for the 4 feet. Like I said, there are no visible screws on the back. And then here you can see it goes flat and then it starts to angle, pushing the front piece, making it look like it's going up, if that makes sense. But the angle from the board actually comes from just this bottom piece, right? So essentially you can see where it separates and it starts to angle up. This is kind of subtle. I don't know if this was like done on purpose. You saw how like the side piece kind of curves in. If you look how this part kind of curves in, you can see this line actually starts to curve a little bit too, rather than just being like straight down. It's kind of subtle, but that's pretty cool. And then here is, oh my god, my fingers. Sorry. Here is the USB port side. And then here's a front lip. So looking at it internally, you have 5 mounting points for the plate for top mount. You have 3 on the top and then 2 on the bottom. So there's nothing on the spacebar or anywhere near the spacebar. I'll be honest that this is my first board I've built with exploded spacebars, so I don't know how mounting points are for it typically. But as we've seen from like other boards, usually they don't put mounting points on the spacebar, or if they do, some people are like weirded out by it. These are for the gaskets that you would put in. So a total of 8. And they're all different lengths. So you can see it has 2 shorter slots on the left and right by the corners. In the middle, you see 2 longer slots. And then bottom, nothing on the space bar, but you do have it right by it. So you have the shorter ones on the corners, so it is symmetrical on the top and bottom. But then you have slightly longer than these corners, but slightly shorter than these top pieces right here and right here. Total of 8 points for the O-rings to go in. So you see corner, 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 long piece, shorter piece, shorter piece. So this is the prototype. The manufacturer accidentally left a bit too much tolerance for the weight. So you'll see that the weight and the board might rattle if you shake it. They're already aware of that. They're already gonna fix it. So here's the weight. Oh! So Toro is the studio, right? Also named after the doggy. You can see the paw it's not just a circular, it actually has the indents for each paw. It's very, very subtle. It's not something you notice, but then if you look on the back, you see it. Do you see that? It does have like the ridges, the toes, yeah. So this weight is just one singular piece, right? This has been infilled. And this will come in both copper and brass. And then you have the 2 screws right here to keep it in the case. And then here is the bottom piece. So you can see there's the channel for the USB port. And this is the cutout for the weight. So the O-ring places are for force brake. They're not a mounting, just to clarify that. And then the screws are gonna be hex in the final version. Whoa, I got the super sick USB stick with the files. The files. Super secret files. So check this out. Oh my god, look at this little Kirby. That's cute. So no flex cuts on the PCB. You do have stepped irregular caps lock indicator. Here you can see these cutouts on the PCB are for the screw points, but this is the hot swap. So for layouts, bottom row is locked, but you can't split the backspace. You can split the left shift. You can split the right shift. Let's use a daughter board. Bottom has the LEDs. You see there's 2 big rows of it. No physical reset button as far as I can see. You do have this right here. So it looks like all the plates are the same, but no flex cuts other than the space bar. And then once again, you can see that there are the cutouts for the case screws. And then you can see the tabs. Looks like you have 4 different plates. There's no foam. We'll build all these plates. So in terms of plates, so palm plate, PC plate, PP plate, FR4 plate, carbon fiber plate. Alu plate will be the default, which is what I got right here. This one feels like the palm plate. PC plate. This one is the carbon fiber, I'm guessing. But yeah, we'll just build with all of them. Let's do it. There was one reel where it was like, I've saved so much time, I get to see my loved ones, etc. And they were like, by doing this one thing, I have so much free time now. And it was like, they just stopped taking their phone into the bathroom. He's like, I stopped taking my phone to the bathroom with me when I take a dump. But it was basically just this satire of like, how much time he had now that he doesn't take his phone into the bathroom with him. Do you guys think it'd be too extra to put a projector in your bathroom so you could like watch a movie while you take your long poops? Just like watch a quick anime episode? Okay, let's talk about the board. This is the Toro60. This is currently in group buy. It is a 60%, and the unique thing about this one is the exploded spacebar. As you can see right here, there are two layout choices. You have HHKB or you have xinxinwong key. So that's what these blockers are here. So the main difference is, you know, instead of like a thick blocker where you wouldn't have a key here, they do like the thin blockers. So now you do have, especially with this layout, you have an extra key that you can put here. This was inspired by their Shiba Inu. This is the black one. This is the xinxinwong key layout. Pretty interesting layout. The symmetry is nice. One interesting thing is that they've added optional force break. I actually didn't need to do force break. I thought the board sounded fine without, but they have added it as an option in case you want or if you need it. So to take the board apart, these are the 4 keys that you need to take off. You need to take apart the 2 and the 3, the minus and the plus. These 2 keys right here next to the space bar on the right and left side, and then the screws are right there. These screws are going to be changed for the production run. Right now they're Phillips, but they're going to be changed to hex. So you can see that it's not just one big O-ring. I actually had to take an O-ring and cut it. You can see they've added these strips right here. The top and bottom corners are going to be the same size, so they're going to be the smallest one. And then the bottom has slightly longer, and the top has slightly longer than that, right? And then these are the screw points for the case for the top and bottom. And then these indents are for the mounting for the top mount. So the reason why I say this is optional is because there's nothing on the PCB or the plate to actually mount onto these, right? This is purely optional. If you're like, well, why don't I try it? Their PCB is gonna touch the bottom of the case. There's no like gasket tabs, right? To like hold on to it. They're non-adhesive, which is nice. So I think this is very interesting because with force break, you know, a lot of people will add adhesive stuff. They'll use adhesive pieces. But with the implementation of this, you have more pieces, but you don't have to worry about this force break coming off and then you don't have like a replacement. You have this that will friction fit into the space and then you can replace it easily. You can take it off easily. You don't have to worry about anything sticky. The way they've implemented this force break, I think is actually very smart, especially as someone who doesn't like adhesive stuff, especially when it's things that have a lot of contact. So if you're someone who opens your board a lot, right? Sometimes having things like adhesive, like gaskets can be annoying, but with the way they implemented that, you don't have to worry about it. And then they gave me an O-ring. I don't know if they plan on like pre-cutting this for clients, but I got the full O-ring. I had to cut it and look how much I had left over. The duro for the O-ring won't affect the typing because there's no actual like tabs on PCB and plate to like mount on it. It's just for the case to case contact. In terms of typing, I'll be honest, sometimes top mount isn't always my favorite. I think top mount is one of those things where like it's a classic, you know. This top mount did not feel as stiff to me. I think that's like one of my biggest problems is like sometimes top mount has a very stiff like bottom out. This one, at least with the softer plates, is nice because you don't really have that harsh bottom out. Like, it's still firm, but I would say, in my opinion, spacebar is like a little weak, but it's not like, oh my god, that's bad, you know. It's just the alphas are very strong and the mods are very strong. And then if you like a softer spacebar, you'll like this one. And that being said, it's because there are no like actual mounting points around the spacebar. So you can see like the top mount is like here and here. There's like nothing like right here or right here, right against the spacebar. Like the mounting points for the top mount are actually very spaced out. This spacebar still sounds good, don't get me wrong. But you know, compared to the alphas and the mods, I'd say spacebar was like the softest, right? Everything else was pretty firm. And then starting price is 255 USD. Overall thoughts. Would I buy this board? Putting aside my bias for like Shiba Inus, I actually would. I love the idea of this exploded spacebar. I think, personally, that having this exploded spacebar gives you like a good excuse to use like the accent spacebar. It just looks like so good. I like unique boards like this, at least these days, right? Everything is a little same-ish, but seeing something like this, it's a fun board in my opinion. Chinese winky list, I'm like a little indifferent about, but with the exploded spacebar, I do like that a lot. The weight is cute. The prototype has a slight tolerance issue, but for the production run, it should be better. And then I like the weight. I like that they decided to infill it. I did ask if they could do like a ginkgo weight, but they would have to change the entire weight. And they're already doing 2 weights, and it was a lot to add a 3rd weight. So instead, we opted to name the black colorway ginkgo. I really did like this board. Exploded spacebar was actually very comfy to type on. And I thought it sounded good. I don't think it needed the force break, at least with my configurations, right? I didn't notice like anything extreme. Like some boards, like you're like, oh, this needs force break. So the fact that they've added it just to kind of be like precautious, but it's optional, like if you want to add it or not. And then the fact that it's not adhesive. It's like you could easily change it out. It's not like, oh, you add it and then, you know, it's a pain in the ass to like take it off right now. So it's pretty easy to like interchange. Overall, very pleasant typing experience. I'd say my biggest critique is that spacebar felt a little weak, but you know, that's just like our personal preference. But yeah, I did like this board a lot. Thank you the Toro team for sending this out to me and like letting me build the keyboard. If you guys are interested, join the Discord. Yeah, that's the build. I love it. I love it. Biases aside.